Alrighty, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Duncan Oklahoma Coin Show live Q&A with me, Raven of Raven Hawk Coins. Got me on the normal video camera here. Just wanted to come and talk to you guys, see how you're doing. I see we've got Create Craft in the Nest, Johnny T, Brother Doug Wagner's here. And Eric A. in the Police Debate, Peter Bowes, Brian Jensen, Bill Driscoll, Joe Mustbe, Chew, Visterion, Gilbert Rogers, Meliton Carrillo, MBM Numismatica, WC, how you doing? Jimmy J1312, Cassie Hall, y'all. Jenny Hansen is here, Fleabag, Silver Wishes. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. I just wanted to hang out for a little bit, chat at you, you know. Look at all the cool stuff in the background. But yeah, so I had a coin show this weekend in Duncan. It was different. I only picked up a few items. It was kind of slow for me. What's up, Michael Hargis? B. Roos, Little Penny Coins, Wayne Lynn, how you doing? And Rockzilla, Dizzy Giraffes Coins. Chew is here. But yeah, I went to the coin show. My next show, I'm gonna be at the Grapevine show, but just buying stuff. I'm not setting up there. I have another show after that. I just don't remember what it is. And then I have McKinney in Texas on October 5th. I got a lot of shows going on. I just don't remember where I'm going right now. But I hope you guys are having a great weekend and staying safe out there. For those of you that have been asking about Miss Raven, she's literally going through physical therapy and trying to get to being healthy again. She's still in quite a bit of pain. You know, what do you do? What's up, MC Silver? What's up, Fleabag? How you doing, my friend? So nothing really too crazy, you know. I just wanted to come on for a little bit, see you guys, say hello. You know, if you had any questions or whatnot. I picked up a couple. Here's the thing. I didn't pick up a lot, but what I did pick up was pretty nice. We're going to have a video about that. Also, guys, J-Dog with a $5 super chat starting us off. He says, you better call somebody, brother. Thanks, J-Dog. I appreciate you, man. You're always throwing me a $5 bill, and it helps quite a bit. What's up, Eric A.? Hambone, a.k.a. Crambone. Happy Bears, good to see you. That was a bad crash. Yeah, brother. It was. A matter of fact, the Cowtown... oh, yeah, Cowtown's going to be a show that I'll be doing here in the future. On the go with Matt Poe. What's up, Matt Poe? What was I going to say? Oh, so, you know, Miss Raven, like I said, she's doing physical therapy and whatnot. The stuff that I picked up from the show was nice stuff. Doug Wagner, 29 months as a Silverhawk. Look out. Thank you, brother Doug. Tomorrow, there's going to be a 3-channel mystery bag challenge going with me, Seeker, and Rob Finds Treasure. So that's pretty cool. That's going to be out tomorrow evening. What's up, CM Silver? Good to see you, my friend. So myself and Seeker and Rob are going to open a mystery bag from eBay. $100 mystery pack, so that should be a lot of fun. The guy that advertised said it was quite a bit more than the $100 in silver, and it was before silver made that jump above 30. Ladies and gentlemen, gold hitting almost $2,600 is unbelievable. I mean, because just 6 months ago, we were talking, $1,700 an ounce. Mytham Duda just subscribed. Welcome to the show, Mytham. Right now, if you go look on Kitco, I'm gonna look real quick. Precious metals. So the market's open. Silver's at $30.85. Gold is at $25.78 plus. So pretty darn crazy what's going on, I'm hungry, but I'm so sick of eating, says Mud Swat. You know what, Mud? I get tired of stuff. That's for sure. Yeah, I like the mystery bags, Cassie. They're fun. What's up, Scorpio? How you doing, my friend? Haven't shaved for a couple days. Looked in the mirror and thought, who the heck is that? Says Fleabag. Nice, my friend. Very cool. I just noticed I'm looking in the camera and it's like making me look like I got like a puffy eye. I might have to get that looked at. What else is going on? I'm trying to think. You guys got any questions about the coin show? I was thinking about doing a video explaining what goes into doing coin shows. So at JDog, I look at Kitco. ATMEX has an inflated pricing for what they say silver is at. I always use Kitco, but it'll probably go up to 31 plus here before long. Melatonin Korea says, do it. Oh, the other bot. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Create Craft. Because I kind of think that you guys would be kind of surprised as to the amount of time it takes to get everything together, and then also what it actually takes as far as if you're considering becoming a coin dealer at shows yourself. There's expenses that people don't realize that you have to, you have to buy display cases and things that they call them coin body bags for your cases when you lock them up at the coin shows themselves. So there's kind of some stuff that goes into being a coin dealer, and then there's all the cost involved. You got your hotel, your food, your gas. You know what, Johnny T? Most of these, so the states that I've been going to, I don't have to have a license like that because I don't own a bricks and mortar. B-Roos, I'd be interested in a video about coin shows. Right on. Yeah, if the rates get cut, it should make gold and silver dance around some. Will you be at the Grapevine show both days? Silver Slinky, right now I'm just there Friday. It really depends on if I don't find much on Friday, I might come back on Saturday. Good to see you too, Lone Star Fox. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. He says, glad to see you streaming. Prayers up as well, as always. I don't know, Slinky. So Slinky, for right now, if I go there and I find stuff, we'll see what happens. Do they still treat YouTubers different at shows? You know what, Silver Wishes? Honestly, a lot of the shows I go to, it's me and Akusha Coins. We're probably the only two guys there that are YouTubers per se. The Grove show, they used to treat us kind of different, but now they've really embraced it because they see how much our community impacts the shows as far as what is bought by our group and the kind of people that come in to see all the different YouTube guys and gals that are hanging out at those shows. It's pretty cool. How to get along with anyone? Tell them you love tacos. Dude, I love tacos. Tacos are the bomb. I could eat tacos daily, literally. Not a problem at all. It's one of those things that it's cool to see that. Now, when we first started going to the shows, they acted kind of strange. They were standoffish because a lot of the YouTube group is a little bit more open, and they talk quite a bit more, Some of the coin dealers are, even though they're doing the coin dealing and stuff, they're they're still introverts. It's surprising to see them be at shows and around the public. When you get to know some of them and you talk to them, they really are kind of on the shyer side of a person. That's one thing that is you really have to have the gift of gab. Mustang Dave buys a lot from the dealers, that's for sure. We appreciate you, Mustang. Yeah, the first year at Grove was kind of did have tension. There was only a few of the actual dealers that came and looked and talked to the YouTubers that first and second year. It was kind of different. If YouTubers bring more interest into the coin shows, see how that could be a double-edged sword. Yeah, Eric A. It does, because it does get some people upset. That they're like, well, wait a minute. They only come in if the YouTubers are here, or some people might feel that YouTube people are a little bit arrogant. You know, do people at the shows say you don't look like you do on YouTube? You know what's funny, Lyle? Not always. I mean, most people hear my voice first, and tell me that I have a very recognizable voice. So the camera doesn't change my looks really. I dress the same way. I wear stuff like Star Wars, or I might even just have a Ravenhawk coin shirt on. But when I don't have a hat on or a bandana, I do notice that less people don't realize until they hear me start speaking if they've watched the show long enough. Which is pretty cool. Let's see here. Nice doing business with you at the Duncan Show, and your help, says Michael Pierce. You're welcome, Michael. Always a pleasure, and it was really, really nice meeting you as well. What was the weirdest thing you have encountered at a coin show? Weirdest thing encountered at a coin show. I think when there's people there that are set up but actually aren't selling coins is kind of strange to me. When they come in there and they're a baseball card guy and that's all they have. Now, here's the thing. A lot of us are, as collectors, like if you're a coin collector, there's a good chance you collect other stuff. It's just kind of in your nature. So I understand in a way the logic of, hey, I'll be the only baseball, football card guy there. But the thing is most of the people that go to the shows aren't really looking to buy baseball cards that day. They budgeted for coins. But then again, if you get the right crowd in the right area, they could literally end up buying, quite a bit from that one person. So it's kind of smart at the same time. I've also seen quite a few people have even like just all jewelry, I thought you were a lot older before you did your face reveal. Thanks, Roxzilla. Let's see here. Melaton Carrillo, average price for a table. So Melaton, that actually depends on the market. Okay. There's a couple factors. If it's a more than one day show, like a single day show, if you're in Oklahoma, you're looking at about $70, 60 for a single table, depending on what town it is. In Texas, for a one-day show, you could be at $125 to $130. A 2-day show here in Oklahoma. So for Norman, for example, a 2-day show at one table would be $150 for the whole show. If you end up getting 2 tables, that's $300 for the show. Texas, it's pretty darn expensive. And I heard a voice in Cincinnati in a hotel, recognized it, turned, and it was Howard Cosell. Nice. This is Howard Cosell. Visterion, no, I did not find your unicorn, brother. You've got that very specific coin and grade that you want, and I found above and I found below, but not at the number you want. You want that 5. But down in Texas, single tables can be as high as $225 for a 2-day show for one table. some even 300. We have a show coming here next year, the A&A Money Show, the one that's normally in Chicago or Philly, places like that. For a upfront table, and it's a 5-day show, mind you, but an upfront table at that show is going to cost you literally $2,500. A table way in the back, something that I can afford, is going to cost about $600. I think the cheapest was like $475. So it really depends on the market where you're at, who's putting it on, and the size of the crowd that normally comes in. Boise has a show. I still haven't made it there. You gotta go, Silver Wishes. I will try to come out to a coin show in Texas in 2025, says Lone Star Fox. All right, let's see here. Did I miss any other question? It's weird being in a room full of people that you know the voices but not the faces. Eric A., that's funny. That's true. There used to be a time I didn't show my face. Yeah, J-Dog, that's for that kind of table. You have to sell a lot of silver just to pay for the table. That's true, you do. You have to sell a lot of silver, a lot of coins. To give you an idea, let's say I'll throw out that I'm going to be doing the White Settlement show coming up in about a month and a half or whatever in what they also call Cowtown. So for Cowtown, a table by itself is $225 up in the front area for 2 days. So $225 for just the table. Hotel is going to be another $400. Then you have your gas, your food, and your entertainment. Okay, so you're already at $650, let's say, for hotel and table. You got another $100 for gas to get there and back and drive around. So you're at $700. Your food, unless you pack all your own, you're looking at a couple $100 eating 3 meals a day all the time. And then any entertainment. So, it wouldn't be unheard of to be at about $1,000 for a 2-day show. When I did the show in Tulsa last year, not this year, but the year before, we did a show for Mike had his show in Tulsa, and that show cost me $1,300. It took quite a while to get to a point where I broke even as far as what I could sell in coins and stuff. And here's the thing. It's literally every show you got a lot of people that are just looking to try to make the best deal that they possibly can. And a lot of them think, hey, what's up, Red Silver? They think that going on the last day is the best day. And actually, one of the secrets to coin shows is the first day. That's the day where dealers are really trying to cover their costs. They're trying to sell as much as they can. You'll actually get a lot more, in my opinion, better deals on the first day of the show, simply because of people like myself and others that are literally trying to make sure that they made enough money to cover their expenses. But there's also another side of it where you call buying your way out of a show. And what that means is if you're not selling enough stuff, you buy enough good stuff that when you get back to your area or what you do, that you can make a profit to cover what it costs to do the show. Brad Zerlin went to a show in Chicago last month and it was really awesome. Nice. Do you seem to sell more numismatic or bullion at the shows, or does it depend on the location and time? Mustang Dave, that is really, really a good question. Great Scott says best deals gone on the first day. So for me, I have a little bit of everything. I have modern stuff, things that are from Palau and Tokelau and Cook Island and stuff like that. And then I have a bunch of numismatics. I'll bring a bag of foreign and sell the coins out of there. Foreign coins that aren't silver, I sell four for a buck. You know, you're not making very much money doing stuff like that. And then bullion. I try to bring a little bit of bullion, but bullion, the profit margin is really slim, because you got a lot of people competing in some of these shows. Like the Grapevine Coin Show is a very bullion heavy show. A lot of bullion dealers. So, you know, if you have your let's say you have a uh, let's say Silver Eagles, and you're offering them at $8 over spot, which, you know, with the way things are going, a lot of them are kind of surprising where they are. Brad Zerlin, no, the World's Fair of Money is going to OKC. Um, so, and there'll be guys that'll go around the whole show and look at prices, and all of a sudden they'll have it for $7. Somebody else will have it for 6. And, you know, somebody will come up to you and say, well, hey, I want this and that, you know, and they have it for 7. Can you do it for 6? Can you match them? So you have to kind of do that. You know, are you headed to Grapevine Show this weekend? Caribbean Coins right now. I'm looking to be there Friday. I'm not sure about Saturday. What's up, Everyday Copportunity? I'm doing good, man. How are you? What's your opinion on numismatic bullion market pre and post COVID? Melaton Carrillo, you know, pre-COVID, gold was a lot cheaper. Silver was less expensive. Everything has gone up with inflation, man. It's been pretty crazy, you know. J-Dog says, which do you like better, being in charge and running a show or going to shows as a customer? Honestly, J-Dog, I enjoy doing the Norman show because it's my hometown and it's my chance to be able to hang out with people that are local that watch the shows. Tulsa's a good show for me in that same sense that there's people that are still local that I get to hang out with. But I like being able to be a dealer and customer at a show because I don't have to worry. I don't have the responsibility for what dealers are stressed out about, or, you know, having to make sure everything's in line, make sure that the food vendors are there and security's set up right, tables are done right, people are in the right spot that they want to be in. But yeah, Brad Zerlin, the World Fair of Money is supposed to be in OKC. Now, if they changed it to Tulsa, that would be kind of a bummer. But we'll see what happens. Great questions, guys. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. I just need my wallet to increase like inflation, says Scorpio. So the spot price is very competitive. Brad Zerlin, yes, at certain shows it can be very competitive, very cutthroat. But there's some people that don't care. You know, there's some guys that they'll just say, I don't care if Bob is charging 6 over spot. I'm charging 8 because I bought it, you know, at a point where I can't afford to give it for $6 over spot. You know, so it just really depends on the person and what they have on the table. That's why I prefer high-end graded numismatics and also numismatics in general. The stuff that's graded is easier to negotiate when you're talking about, you know, PCGS, NGC and everything, because you can literally bust out what's called the gray sheet, which 98% of the dealers out there, this is our price guide Bible. So what that is that is dealer to dealer cost. And so when you're doing deals with dealers, it gives you a great idea to know exactly where you are at as far as, okay, this is what the industry standard is for that coin. Unless it's like a super rare, hard to find coin, like a 55 double die obverse Lincoln cent, you know, that's in high grade. There are coins like that where you're going to pay a little bit above the bid price no matter what, because that coin dealer can take that back to their shop or to another show, and they know they're going to make solid money on it. So when you're dealing dealer to dealer, You do a little bit better on the stuff that's more common date or less high end, because there's a lot more leeway because it's easier to get your hands on those coins. Kind of, it's the old saying in economics, it's supply and demand. The more people that want something, the more people are willing to pay. So it's one of those things. It's an interesting little kind of line to follow. As far as where to be and what you think you should do. Now, the rule of thumb for those of you that don't know that we don't have giant markups when we do the coin shows as far as what the retail prices are. Retail prices are about 20 to 30 cents or 30% above the bid. And there's a lot of times, like I said, depending on the coin, you still might have to pay above bid, and you can only go so high as a retail price. And then a lot of times people will do, they'll put a coin on in display at 30% above, knowing that they're going to take 10% off to most people that want the coin. So on average, a coin dealer is making about 15 to 20% profit on something they sell versus any other retail industry. They buy it for $1, they sell it for $2. So coin dealer margin is pretty slim. I'd imagine anything top pop, the seller would have tons of leeway. Christopher Sherman, that's true, but it still also depends on the demand. Because I can tell you right now, I have a top pop Mexican coin in my case that I've brought to shows for the last year. I have a very reasonable price on it, and it hasn't sold. I've had a couple people look at it, and honestly, the price I have it at, I thought it would blow out of the case a long time ago. I have it at only $225, and it's easily like a $400, $500 coin because it's literally top pop one of one, and it's from 1899. It's five centavos, NGC slabbed and certified, the whole thing, and it's literally 101. The spot price varies from day to day. So does silver. Yeah, for silver and gold. So when you're doing that at shows, you could have a day where you come in there and silver's at $30 an ounce, and it drops to 27 the next day, and you have to take the hit if you're gonna play this game. That's one thing, guys. Eric A with a $10 super chat says the nest is the best. Thank you, brother. Urban Stackers Den. Hope everyone's having a great day and your team's won, unlike mine. Well, thank you, Eric. I appreciate it, brother. Urban Stacker, hope it gets better for you. So like I was saying, there's times where I work at a couple coin shops, and a lot of dealers work with local coin shops. So I see a lot of the same faces at the shows and the coin shops that I'm at, and you always have, there's one or two guys that are what they call vest pocket or pocket vest dealers, that they try to squeeze every last nickel out of an ounce of silver. And they'll do things like, let's say a guy buys it at $26 an ounce. It goes up to $31 an ounce. It drops to $30. They'll literally tell you they just lost $1 an ounce, instead of realizing they gained the 5 and it went to 4, and they still really are up $4. And so sometimes I've had to tell people, hey, you gotta have an aggregate number in mind and understand that there's times that you do really, really well, and there's times that you take a hit as a dealer, because that's the nature of the game. You can't literally chase every nickel. Melaton Carrillo, I'm pretty sure it's either a 5 or 10 centavos. I know it's like $18.99. It's an MS65 grade, and actually a couple of the dealers that are at the shows that have seen it, that like the Mexican stuff, they said that it's actually undergraded by a grade or so. But since it's top pop 101, what are you going to do? Send it in and get a better grade? it's not really worth the extra money, you know. Is there a different attitude at a show compared to a shop? Brad Zerlin, I think so. Honestly, coin shops, you really need to develop the relationship. Okay. Um, Go there for a couple times before you get a deal. Coin shows, people seem to be almost expecting a deal on anything they touch. You'll have a sticker price, and somebody's always like, well, it says 350, but what's the best you can do? I mean, that seems to really be, um, you know, the ticket. And mud swat, yeah, some things are funny about I have to make money on this coin. I never really say that to people. I just tell them what I'm willing to sell it for. There ever get some bad guys at shows? Oh, Silver Wishes, yes. Matter of fact, the Tyler, Texas coin show I was at, there's a really nice older gentleman and his wife. I'm not going to say their names because that's kind of, their personal business as far as who they are. But they have, when they're at shows, they have like 4 or 5 tables. They've got stacks of silver, stacks of gold, stacks of literally everything you can think of. Well, they were at the Tyler show. Oh yeah, it's stepping over dollars to pick up pennies, Dave. That's a good phrasing. So the Tyler show, they had gone out and loaded up their truck with half of their stuff, and unfortunately, that half of their stuff was all their gold and a bunch of their bigger bars of bullion. They were in the show for like 10 minutes, came out, all the windows were busted out. They lost a couple $100,000 in gold and silver. There's been a lot of targeting of coin dealers at shows. People getting robbed on the road. People that if you're doing coin shows and you're a dealer and you leave, it's not very smart to drive a mile away and go inside and get something to eat. The smart thing to do is have your car gassed up, be on the road for a good hour before you do anything, and then keep your eyes on it, because there's been another story a couple shows back. There was a pretty prominent dealer. He and his buddy stopped at a place to eat, and they came out and all their stuff was gone, and that was like a $500,000 hit. I'm not a really big dealer, and people, when they look at that my case, they go, I don't have stacks of gold and stuff, so I'm not really considered that kind of target per se. Plus, I carry a pretty big gun when I go on the road. You're not just making money, you're taking their livelihood. Please don't steal, that's for sure, Mud Swat. Yeah, you have to unfortunately have a pew pew when you're at shows. Like any collectible show, there are people who think they're privileged and expect a deal no matter what. That's very true, Brad Zerlin. What else? Let's see here. Yeah, it's sad. There's been people. Even there was a guy at a show in I think it was the Long Beach show. A guy that had big gold nuggets, and a guy stole a nugget worth about 25 or 30 grand. There's also times where they're called gypsies, which they're not necessarily the gypsies that you think of. They just call them gypsies because they're groups of people going in and stealing it, and they'll get you for a really high grade coin by 3 or 4 of them at the table, and all asking you, different stuff. And hey, can I see this? Hey, can I see that? They'll have a cheap slabbed coin, like let's say you have a 1932 Washington quarter that's graded, 32 D or S, something key date, so to speak, and they'll have a slabbed quarter, and they'll do this and give you back the one. And if you got 3 or 4 other people talking at you, you might put it down and not realize it until he's already left, that he just got you for one of your more expensive coins. I know a guy who had 100K in fake coins sold to him. Wow, lost his entire business. Yeah, you got to be really careful. What's up, Stanley's mom? How you doing? Let's see. If I missed any questions here. Um, what's up, Emil? How you doing, brother? So you gotta be diligent, and the smart thing, honestly, is to have somebody that's with you. I travel a lot with a gentleman, and so when they see two guys that are relatively, the guy I travel with is a big guy. I'm not super tall, but I'm pretty stocky. I have some muscle. And I hold myself pretty well. I'm pretty confident. One of the things that we do at some of the shows, if you get a weird vibe of a person, is you know I do a lot of shows in states where you're allowed to have a constitutional carry, and so I'll kind of scratch my side, and you know they'll be able to see that you have something there that is going to make it less appealing to try to follow you home. Raven passing out knowledge to the masses. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Everyday Opportunity. So, is it a bad thing to ask for a deal at the coin show? Urban Stackers Den? No. Here's the thing, you're not going to get things in life if you don't ask. Okay? There's times that people walk up and they look at a coin, they look at the price, and they'll say, I'll take it. They don't even argue, they don't ask for a deal, nothing. Those are like, wow, that's pretty cool. Thank you for doing that. Um, it was when those fake China trade dollars started circulating. Mud Swat, those fake China trade dollars have been out since this, like, probably since they first made them. I mean, they've been out for a long, long time. Very hot and heavy in the 80s and 90s, that's for sure. Um, you know, Here's the thing. If you go to a guy's table and you want one coin and you're saying, what's your best deal, and you've never dealt with them before, they're probably not going to move very much. But if you come to their table and you buy two, three, four coins and they add it all up, I'm the type of guy that a lot of times I give you a better deal. That's just how I am. You guys know me pretty well by watching me do streams that, I'm pretty generous, and I also mark my coins at a spot that I know, that if I give up $5, I'm not really losing out, and they're getting a good deal. Visterion says, "Sorry, I'm the guy looking for a deal." Oh, that's funny. Let's see here. When I was in a sketchy neighborhood or a bus stop, I just randomly grabbed my hips so it looked like I was adjusting. Mud swat. That's for me the most part. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but the more I watch and learn, I feel like if you don't ask for a deal, you kind of shorten yourself. Well, Urban Stacker, if you know what's going on, if your face is known at the shows, like I'm known as a dealer and I'm known as a show promoter. So right away when I walk up to a dealer's table, we're talking gray sheet prices 95% of the time, unless it's that key date that they know. Here's the thing. If I walk up and a guy's got a Daniel car like this one sitting on his table and there's a lot of demand for it going on at that time, he's going to say, "Hey Raven, I can sell it to somebody that I know for 150, bids 110. The best I can do for you, man, is like 130, and it's leaving you enough meat on the bone to make $20, but they're not going to sell themselves short. If it's an even like crazier coin, like let's say an 1893 S Morgan silver dollar that is a graded at a certain spot, and let's just throw a number out there, it's worth 20 grand, and at that 20 grand they still sell like this because people want them. They're going to say the same thing, like, "Nah, man, I need 19,500." because I can sell it for 20 grand tomorrow and I'm losing out on $500. You're going to turn around and sell it for 21, so there's a lot of give and take when it's super uh, desirable stuff. Most dealers at the Norman show actually sold to me less than they were asking without me asking, which was surprising. Mustang Dave, and that's true too. There are certain dealers that will literally, like I said, when they see that, especially you, Dave. Dave, you tend to buy, 3, 4, 5 items at a guy's table if you like what they have. So a certain amount of them will literally go, okay, he bought $500. Let me give him 25, $30 off. They might even do a little bit more. What's up, Sam Wilson? You're moving back to Milwaukee. Right on, brother. I feel very safe in the coin shows because I know everyone's packing, says Michael Pierce. And that's another thing. A lot of the shows are very, very safe because there are undercover, plainclothes security in some of the shows. There's a lot of the shows have police officers that are either retired or they're on their off-duty time. Our show coming up in November, which we're going to have in the town called Goldsby. Goldsby's right next, a little bit south of Norman, but it's the next town over. And we will have the Goldsby Police Department. We'll have a couple of their officers on for security for that show. So that makes it a less tempting for people to do something inside the show. But unfortunately, Tyler, Texas had people that were, police officers, security inside the building, but they were inside when the car that got broken into with all the gold, when all that was stolen. They can't be everywhere at once and they don't have, giant teams of them, but there's always somebody there as security. Urban Stacker's moving to OKC, got approved for his house this past Friday. Looking forward to hanging out and meeting you guys up there. Right on, Urban. Congratulations. In Tulsa, on the last day, there was a plainclothes guy who was armed. I told the ladies up front, but they assured me it was a security guard from the past 2 days. Sam Wilson, here's the thing. Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, all open carry, constitutional carry states. There's a lot of people that have, that are armed because that's their right as a citizen. Do you ever deal with gangs of thieves or pairs when one person is distracted while one steals? Yaksnav, yes. We were talking about that earlier. They like to call them gypsies when they see them roll in. The Goldsby show is the 8th and 9th of November, Mustang Dave. They like to literally, use that tactic of, hey, can I look at this over here? And they'll want to look at 2, 3, 4 coins at once. I also said, be careful when you have multiple guys because they might hand you back a slab that's the same denomination but not the same coin. They're pretty slick in their tactics when they do that. I've seen some guys, there's been guys that have been robbed that way. There's been other people where if you don't keep your cases closed and locked, it's not very smart because what had happened sometimes is they'll have you distracted over here and a guy will, so you have metal display cases and they lock, but if they're unlocked, you can open them just a little bit, enough to slide your hand in there, pull some stuff out, and a person won't even see it because you're not opening it all the way. It's like that far. I was hesitant reporting because I was having his rights be violated. Sam Wilson, it's no worries, buddy. Yes, sleight of hand stuff, Yoxnav. Mud swat. You're going to get hurt with one of those. Yeah, in open carry states, it's a whole different society. Like, to give you an idea, everywhere I go, because of what I do, I carry. Plain and simple. I have coins that are worth money, and even though I'm not a big time dealer, like I don't go around, with hundreds of thousands of dollars and stuff, I'm still kind of small potatoes. Even with what I have, I make sure Everywhere I go, there's something with me. I know you're giving us the facts of how to be aware of our surroundings. But let's talk about some positive things that go on at the coin shows. The coin shows are great, really great. A lot of lifetime friendships. You can make great friendships with dealers. Uh, Bring your kids and your family and have a good time. Coin shows are relatively very, very safe because they're well protected. At a local show, some guy tried to buy 25K gold with a fake cashier's check. Yep, I've seen that before. I've seen that before, and they literally fake cashier's checks are pretty obvious most of the time. I mean, there's not a lot of guys out there or gals who are doing them that can make them very passable. What's up, Vote for Pedro? How you doing, man? All right, Herman Orquiz, how you doing? Good to see you, brother. Yep, Chicago. I lived in Chicago. I know what that's like. I love Chicago though. I really do. They got great food. My inner fat boy loves food, let me tell you. Um all right. Better safe to be sorry, that's for sure. Actually, Mud SWAT, there are some dealers that take checks. You know, there's been a couple times I take a check, but I know the person. I've seen them around enough shows. They have a good reputation. I get people that I've never met. Can you take a check? I'm like, nope. I've taken PayPal at shows before, and I don't even hit them for the 3% that I get hit. And that's something else that I guess a lot of people don't understand, is literally when you do PayPal, it's 3% on every transaction, everything that's sent in. And that's kind of the way I am as a person. Like I said, I don't hit you up for every last cent. I know there's a couple channels that when you send in your PayPal, they expect a 4% on top of what you bid for your stuff because they don't want to cover the PayPal fees. It adds up over time, but as a YouTube channel and Ravenhawk Coins, I'm an LLC. I'm registered. Those things are the cost of doing business. They're write-offs. You shouldn't pass that on to people if you can help it, in my opinion. I'm not going to say any names or anything like that because that's just kind of rude, but it's something that I don't do myself. Good to see you, Michael LeFew. Red Silver says, yep, part of doing business. Love Chicago pie with a thick crust. Heck yeah, Alan Hall. Deep dish Chicago. Please keep us informed of all the upcoming shows, says Michael Pierce. I'll try my best. You can go to ravenhawkcoins.com. That's my website. That'll tell you the shows that I'm putting on. I'm no longer the promoter and owner of the Mustang Coin Show. I sold that off. But I will still be doing the Norman and Goldsby shows. For those of you that didn't know, the building that we were at in Norman is being bulldozed and rebuilt. So during that time, we're going to be in Goldsby because unfortunately, venues in Norman are extremely expensive because of the college and a couple other things that we have around here, which is kind of crazy about how much they want for a small area. We're talking some venues are $5,000 for 2 days, and you really can't get enough tables into some of those venues that are smaller to even come close to covering that. Nick Fortier, that's very generous, Ravenhawk. Thank you, brother. Melaton Creo, what's one show you're always looking forward to? I love the Houston show, the Houston Money Show. I have a lot of fun down there. I also enjoy the Duncan Coin show that I was just at. I really love the Norman show because I get to have a good time hanging out with, a couple of the YouTubers that normally show up like Rob and Seeker and, different people that come out that support the Nest. I'm looking forward to doing probably something in Florida in the future to go down there and check out the shows. But I really like my top favorite shows are Norman, Grapevine, Cowtown, the Houston Money Show, Tyler, Texas. I have a good time down there. A lot of good people. So I don't really have my absolute favorite per se. Oh, Enid. Enid's a fun show. It's far from me. I mean, a lot of shows are far from me. Enid's about 2 hours or so away. But that's a show that I tend to do really well. The people there like the kind of stuff that I have. And so that's always fun. J-Dog says, I noticed some people charge the 3 to 4% of using PayPal and have raised shipping fees. Here's the thing. Shipping is literally for a small package is $4 and something odd cents. Okay. We charge a flat fee of $5 on a night for whatever you ship with us. Sometimes we end up eating $2, $3, $4 if the package is bigger. It's just how we do business. I can't really talk for other people. I don't understand when you're charging people $7 or $8 for shipping. It's almost like how people on eBay are. They'll sell you something for $5, but tell you the shipping's $40. That's when you're trying to squeeze profit out of every angle. And when it's the cost of doing business, it's one thing. But for the most part, it's about $4 to ship most stuff. And that literally is, you've got your supplies, your envelopes, your labels, your ink, all that stuff. That's why we came up, okay, $5 flat fee. If it goes up $1 or $2 because somebody bought a bunch of stuff that night, I'm not going to turn around and go, hey, Mustang Dave. Well, actually, Mustang Dave gets delivered his stuff by hand, but I'm not going to say, hey, Dave, you bought 7 coins and it went past the weight, or went past the size package where it's only $5 a ship. It's now $8. I don't come back for you for $3. This is not how I am. Now, some people might say, well, you're losing profit. In the big picture, in the end, people know they're getting a decent deal. You're being honest and forthright, and they're more than likely to come back and purchase from you again because you're not misrepresenting what you're doing or trying to hide little things to make, $2 or $3 extra dollars here and there. Let's see here. Daryl, sorry I'm late. Wife had total knee replacement. Ooh, goodness, my friend. Yeah, Mustang Dave, that building's been there forever, but they're rebuilding that building, and it's going to be really nice, modern air conditioning and lighting and stuff. And instead of having multiple rooms like it is, it's going to be one hall, but we're going to be on the other side. It's going to be even bigger and better. Matter of fact, when we come back to Norman, we're going to do like a grand reopening kind of thing, vibe, as far as we got a lot of really cool, we're going to have really cool door prizes and giveaways, and maybe do a couple raffles to have some fun at the same time. Thank you, J-Dog. I appreciate that, brother. Lots of people use the I have to double my money. See, here's the thing, Mud Swat. That's in normal retail. If they're doubling their money on coins, wow. Because honestly, the profit margin on coins is usually between, like I said before, a good profit's 15 to 30%. Most of the time, you're like lucky to get 15%. You might sometimes only get 5%. You might get 10%. So on $100 to make $5, $10, that's usually kind of where you're at. Because it's hard when you have eBay and other stuff where there's always like one or two people that all of a sudden they put a coin out for a price that makes no sense because they'll have the absolute lowest price and more than likely sell it. Well, all of a sudden it gets like a domino, what they call group think. and everybody goes and all of a sudden they're selling that coin for way cheaper, and now you've ruined the validity of that coin's value. I've been happy with all the coins I've gotten from you. You have a good eye. Thank you, Bill Driscoll. I appreciate that, brother. Raffles are always fun. You just got to be certain enough people buy tickets. That's true, Yoxav. Have you seen the new security measures on paper money from Mexico? It's so cool. Silver Slinky, I have not seen it yet. That'd be cool. I read dealers should offer 35% from retail, but I don't know how true that is. So, the book I showed earlier, Mud SWAT, the dealer book, most dealers look at that and they will go between 20 and 30% above dealer cost, and that's their profit and things. But there's some dealers out there that own coin shops that will go 50, 75, 100% profit. I'm just saying that the industry average and normal thing is about 20 to 30%. I had my timer set, but I got busy, says Michael McCohen. Good to see you, brother. How do air coins sell at the shows? Fleabag, it depends on the air coin. Because here's the thing. There's a lot of people out there that are watching certain YouTube channels that talk about all these different airs. And if the air is not widely known or recognized, there's a lot of dealers that don't touch them because they don't want to get stuck with a coin that all of a sudden they overbid for, Now, if it's a 1955 double die obverse penny, they're all over it. That's a well-known. Three-legged buffaloes sell well. The 42 or 41 Mercury dimes sell well. The best thing to do is to have it graded, because then at least you've had it attributed, and a third-party grader like PCGS, NGC, and Annex. Those are the three. Now CAC. Those four companies, if it's in one of their holders, it's a lot more affirmation to what they'll pay for them. But there's a lot of coins that have some errors that really aren't worth that much because it's more of a variety than an actual error, I wonder if they'll be like the V75 prices. Oh, you guys are talking about the new privy marked American Silver Eagles. That'll be pretty cool to see what they have. Let's see here. How do you feel about buying air coins? Do you have a preference, raw, slabbed, or graded? J-Dog, yep. I just said I prefer them slabbed. But here's the thing. I've bought a lot of nice coins. Like here, I'll show you one right here. I got sitting on my desk. 1964 with the chip planchet right there. You can see that I paid $40. Actually, no. The price they wanted was $40. I probably paid like $32. So that leaves me like $7 profit or something on that. I probably make like about $5, give or take, if I sold it. Sometimes I lose, sometimes I win. But I will buy them raw, but I prefer to buy them in slabs just because they've already been attributed, Hobo nickels are really cool. There's a lot of fake ones. Privy Star will be limited mintage of 500,000 and only available through authorized bulk buyers. See, that isn't right, man. I don't think that's fair at all for the mint to let, the big pocket dealers are the only ones that get to, get their hands on it. And then all of a sudden they set an arbitrary price. That's another thing that I'm kind of honestly surprised sometimes with the way that you see premiums are. Silver goes up. Oops. Premium goes down. Silver goes down. Premium goes up. Well, in normal markets, you don't get to adjust your premium to fix your price to what you want to have it at. That is traditionally known as price fixing. It'll be interesting to see what happens, Yeah, straight up gift from the mint to big guys, if that's the one, if it's accurate, yeah. We still don't know it's legit yet. It's coming from a bullion dealer who might be trying to drive traffic to their site. Ah, Visterion. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm Canadian. I found a 44 wheat penny in a $2 jar of pennies a couple weeks ago. No mint mark. So the no mint mark Nick 48 is just made in Philly back then. So that's normal for a wheatie to have no mint mark. That is known as a Philadelphia. You know. Wow, we've been on an hour. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, I hope that the things that we're talking about, that one, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to offend people. You know, I'm just trying to be open and honest the way I always am. And I can't speak for other people. I just know what I do and what I think is right for the way I do business. I don't judge anybody for the way they do things. I don't have any issues with the way they do stuff. I just myself, and that's why I don't say names or point fingers. I myself, when I go to bed at night, I feel good that I know that people that buy and support my channel and support me at the shows, they know they get a good deal at a fair price. And what else can you do? You know, I think that's pretty straightforward. I see, I like, I buy, I win, says Michael McCohen. Silver Wishes, you're welcome, my friend. I'm glad you learned a lot. That means I'm doing my job. So what's the difference between error and variety? So a variety is part of the die, okay? Something in the die that like, so let's use die cracks, for example. Die cracks end up being varieties, and they'll have names like the mustache peace dollar, the spitting eagle on a quarter or whatever, because over time, after being, coins are stamped at such insane pressure that they actually have a little bit of a melting to the metal to get them into the forms that they are, that over time the die itself starts to break down, and they use it so much that it gets cracks in the die and everything. And so die cracks and different little variances to the stages that the coin has gone through is a variety. And there's a bunch of them when they're a variety. When it's a true error coin, like doubled dyed coins and coins that are smashed weird, or like I have a coin, I should have brought my air. I didn't think we were going to talk about air coins this much, but it's something that doesn't happen so often. Okay, coins that are, like I said, smashed out and look like mushrooms, or I have coins where you only see like about 20% of the coin, and if it's got the date, it's worth more. Coins that are on different planchets, those are errors. Chipped planchets, that's an error. Doubled die is an error. And so that's the best way to really explain that, is that varieties are very, very, very widespread across the coin and known to be there because it's a stage of deterioration in using the dies and the presses. And the other ones are just what they are. They're rarer. The newest penny in the jar was from 1968. I thought that was cool enough. Right on, Nick 48. That's awesome. J-Dog, I like the Q&A streams you do, brother. J-Dog, Slab Master J approved. He gives it the big... Lots of drooling Georges, though. Yep, Alan Hall, and that's why the drooling George is more likely going to be, classified as a variety versus an error. But here's the thing. A lot of people, I make the mistake all the time of calling a variety an error, and somebody goes, nice variety, Raven. And it's like, okay, great. So I'm not always right, Varieties are still really cool, and errors are even cooler. Let's see here. See if we got any more questions. Jackalope Herdmaster for Nick 48. That's the maker's initial. All right, guys. You're welcome, Fleabag. I'm glad I could help. What's up, Gary Lofgren? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. It's air if you hold up your middle finger to them. What's up, Art Bascom? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, my friend. Guys, you've had great questions tonight. I look forward to doing more Q&A times where we just get to hang out and have a good time. I think as you guys get to know me for quite a while, you'll see that I'm pretty darn consistent. Back from the gym, how you doing? I'm doing great, Eric Rohde. How are you? If you do come to Tennessee for a show, Raven, do Gallatin or Chattanooga. Those are the two biggest ones near me. Visterion, I have plans in the next year to do some shows I've never been to, be a little bit farther out. If you want to send me information on the shows, if you have an inside track on who I can get a hold of, I'd appreciate it. I have Alan Hall. I have a few quarters that seem to have no nickel plating. Is that an error or likely just environmental damage? Alan, I would have to see the coin. There are times that there can have a non-plating. A lot of times it's because it's been under the ground for a long time and it just wore it off. But if it's in great condition and looks good and it's got, luster to it, that's a big deal. So many things to know about what heirs and variety are, so many of them and the differences. It's a lot to know. That's why I have only a couple, and they are slabbed and graded, says J-Dog. What's up, Teacher 1388? All right, guys. It was fun. Definitely have a great night. Bill Driscoll, I appreciate you. Mods, thank you for being here. Create Craft, Hambone, Brother Doug Wagner, Joe Must Be, Mud Swat, Mustang Dave, CM Silver, Peter Bowes, Daryl USA. I know I'm missing somebody. I always am. I think I said Joe Must Be, Create Craft. Resin Dragon had to work tonight. She texted me earlier. Guys, Davis Wall, rock and roll with Ravenhawk with a $5 super chat. And thank you, everybody. I do appreciate you. I'm going to get rolling out of here, but we will do these again in the future. Matter of fact, I think it's a lot of fun to be able to answer questions and give you guys a little insider stuff. And you guys gave me some ideas for some possible videos coming up in the near future. Remember, tomorrow I have a mystery box right here that myself, Rob Finds Treasure, and Silver Seeker are going to be releasing it in the evening. Yep, I said Teacher 1388. We're going to be releasing that tomorrow evening. I won't even know what's in it until tomorrow morning when I make the video. Got the fingers crossed. Hopefully, we can do some fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like always, make sure to take care of one another, and we'll see you real soon. Ravenhawk Coins, have a great day. Gary Lofgren, 4:57 Central Time. All right, have a great day.